Well, God called us to Scotland basically through a series of events. In 2000, we were invited to come out and do some music outreach in the surrounding areas of Scotland, Glasgow area, whatnot. And so, we came out just to do just basically what a lot of people do, just visit Scotland, do outreach work. We didn't know really what was going to happen with that heart or desire. Figured, it might just be a passing feeling or whatever. Hi, my name is Scott Key, and this is my wife, Danielle Key. We've been married for about 12 years now, and we live in Scotland. We are missionaries, pastoring a church called Cornerstone here in Shotts, and we have two children, Jedediah and Miles. Jedediah is 5 years old and starting school pretty soon, and wee Miles, who's our little boy with a bit of a special needs, but he keeps our hands full. He's lovely, and he's 4. 2 years later, just various things just kept happening in our hearts and our minds and circumstances that just pointed to Scotland. And so we just started teasing that idea to come to Scotland, and then kind of one door opened after another, and it was almost like waterworks. We had really no choice but to come to Scotland and to serve God.
At that time we received a verse in Deuteronomy. It's Deuteronomy 1:33, and it says, "Who went ahead of you and on your journey in fire by night and in a cloud by day to search out places for you to camp and to show you the way you should go." And as we asked God to open doors, he just kept showing us the way to go by opening door after door after door, and this was the door that he opened. A normal day for us would, after we get ourselves sorted in the morning with our kids and getting everybody where they need to go, we always take our child to nursery every morning, Jedediah, so one of us walks them. But we have what's called in Scotland an open house. We didn't know it was called an open house until after we were just living our lives with just an open heart. We found out that what we have is called an open house, which means the house is available to anybody to come to at any time and any day.
Administrative work,
formally.
flyer making phone calls. So there's a lot of that stuff that runs throughout the day, but that stuff always takes a second seat to people in need, And like Danny was saying, somebody comes, we don't say, "Oh, I'm sorry, too busy, you got to go away." No, that is the work. Yeah, so there's this thing we have been doing for the last year or so, called Messy Church. It started with a bunch of artists down in England saying, well, what can we do to bring the families together? Well, let's teach families how to do art, like 3 or 4 tables of crafts and arts and stuff like that. We'll have music and light shows and the idea of evangelism with that is to make relationships, and through that also there's we do music that's Christian style music that we would all grow up with as children. Videos, really interesting, challenging videos that are good quality, and then of course always a message, just to really get real and practical with what we're doing spiritually. Can I encourage someone to be a missionary? I would probably say I could not encourage someone to be a missionary because it's really a lot of hard work. It's a life of dedication, and it's a true calling of God. Me and Danny were talking about the life of a missionary and how you literally have to live for others. And I'll say, if you want to be a missionary, go out and do it, but be prayed up, make sure it comes from God, because the world needs the gospel.
Amen.
But God will also provide it as well. So